Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV reaction. Today we have the Queen Eternal Theme 1, Paved in Solitude. I guess I'm only going to be listening to this first phase of the song here, but it is like 7 minutes long, so it makes sense that Crosslancer didn't ask for more than that, especially all at once. That would be so much to listen to, so I suppose I'll be giving this a listen, and you can only find a version with like gameplay behind the video, so I'm going to be largely listening, of course, but I guess you guys will have a little bit of gameplay up on the screen to watch while I'm doing so. And without further ado, let's go! Okay. I gotta get my mind back into the space. It's been a while since I've heard something from this game. I gotta like rewire myself here. Kind of an energetic bop for the start of a boss theme, though. It's a beautiful main theme going on here. A little bit of a minor dip there. Oh, bringing in the choir, huh? It's such a beautiful melody. Like, the main theme here is gorgeous. And the way it like breaks down like this too. Right into some more energy. Like, the piano is just going to town. Like constant slides and sweeps. Woo. Bit of a delayed drum part. Much appreciated. I really like when they do that, changing it up a little bit to keep it fresh. Switch over to the ride. See, like little changes like that just in the drums keeps it so much more active. Especially if you know people are going to be hearing this on loop for a while, which I assume is the case. Kind of a loop back, borrowing from that very beginning of the song. Yeah, we loop in here. Okay, not entirely. There's a little bit of a change there. Yeah, it didn't lose all the energy. It didn't just loop blindly. Again, great evolution. Keeping things familiar, but changing it up just a little bit. Great songwriting. Kind of borrowing this section again. Makes me wonder if they're gonna change anything next. I really like that. That just slight tilt off the main melody. Makes it feel uncomfy for just a split second. You really need that if you're fighting a boss, right? Get reminded that you aren't the main character here, quote unquote, you know? Something's wrong. I like those little subtle reminders. Love that 16th on the kit there too. Kind of neat to have that as like the backbone for a split second. Really prominent. Ooh. I thought we were gonna loop back right there. Maybe not yet. Back at this section, so maybe soon. I'm also starting to like actually watch what's on screen now. And I'm like, good Lord, how do people play games this busy? My ADHD could never, dude. This is so much information. I don't even know what character I would be playing on screen right now. I can't quite tell. There's so much stuff going on. Okay, this must be a loop then. Going back to the beginning. And the fade out. Okay, so it was just a loop twice. I thought that second phase, like, well, not second phase, the second rotation of the song was slightly different, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was just my mind failing me. Heh. Maybe. So I think the most interesting part for this entire composition to me is how bright it sounded. It sounded happy and uplifting. It didn't sound stressed. It didn't sound like the traditional boss theme that you're kind of expecting to hear. And that's really weird considering like the first text box I saw from the boss was just like, be not afraid, death is not the end, effectively. And it's like, whoa, that's a lot of pressure to put on, especially when the song then reflects that that's not the case. Like, this song didn't ever really feel too tensive at all. It didn't feel like there was anything pressuring me to continue on. It sounded uplifting, more like a hero's theme would be. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a theme in the perspective of you as the player, which would make sense for that heroic energy, or if it's supposed to be the actual theme of the boss, in which case, do they see themselves as the hero in that case? Like, that's kind of where I'm sitting, and I think that that might be the case, but it's also just a really interesting approach because it's not presenting this boss to you as a threat necessarily, even though it is. And there is that one spot in the song where it kind of tilts itself off and it hits that note that sounds incorrect. It just hits this diminished, disgusting kind of scale off to the side where you're like, ugh, that note didn't fit in with the rest of the song. And that might be like the one hint in this whole song where like, this is a bad character or something isn't correct here. And that's kind of how they do that, but it's usually the whole song when it's a boss theme. Usually the entire theme is in a minor key or something that just in general feels a lot more oppressive compared to this. This just sounded like I was flying through the sky and the stars and everything was pretty cool because like I can do no wrong. I feel happy and proud to be here. Even the choir that came in didn't feel like it was singing anything necessarily like oppressive. It just sounded like it was exalting praise to what may be a god. Like, I know this character is called Queen Eternal. That kind of tracks with the whole maybe they are a god and you're fighting a god. So maybe that guess of mine that this character is like believing that they themselves are not necessarily a bad person or a bad character is the case. Like, I don't know exactly what they think of themselves or how they place themselves in the narrative of this game. So I think that's my best guess, is that this is probably a god or a character that believes themselves to be a god, maybe sold their soul for some degree of power, and now they feel that they are above anything else and it's your job to stop them. But in that, the song that's reflecting them is kind of reflecting the idea that they're not necessarily bad, they're just doing what's right per their own perspective, and that's what we're getting out of the song. That's a really cool way to present a boss theme, because I'm so used to hearing them sound very like just generally bad. You know, you have the minor keys, you have these negative tones in the song, things that are clashing, things that just sound incorrect, and you're being faced with that. Like, that's just being shoved down your throat, and you're like, well, clearly I'm in the right, because like, listen to the boss music, you know? If you were to play this, I wouldn't think, oh, why is there boss music? I would think, oh shit, I'm about to do something cool. And it's such an interesting approach. I am really kind of baffled by that. I think this is the first time I've heard a boss theme that didn't just, at least at one point, shift at least to a completely negative tone, where usually it's the whole song. Sometimes they'll start positive and negative, and it kind of shifts as it goes, and it skews your perspective of who is the bad guy. In this one, I just feel like I'm the bad person for fighting a character that has a theme that's so positive. I think that's a cool psychological effect to play on the player themselves, knowing that you have to fight it no matter what. And I don't know if that shifts in phase 2, because there is phase 2. I was only asked to do phase 1, so it's all I'm gonna do today, but that's a really, really cool way to do it, just to start out like that, starting out with that ambiguity of who's in the right here. So that's the coolest part to me about this entire song. Orchestration is gorgeous in general, the mixing is great, I have no issues in there at all, I have no qualms with any of that handling. But the just approach, the raw narrative assumption that this may not be the bad person is a really cool approach for me, because I don't get to hear that too often. And I guess that's really all I got to say about this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to from Final Fantasy or anything else, drop them in the comments below, or if you want to guarantee that I get to them at some point, I have a tier that allows for that, and you can ask for it in a private Discord channel. So go join that if you want to. But otherwise, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!